In these observations, we're focusing more on the students than on the teacher. We're looking at what the students are doing. How are they learning? Are they engaged? Are they interacting with rigorous material? And if they are, how did that happen? And that's our question. How do we know it's happening? How did that happen?
So one of the things that we have as teachers created that we're in this isolated silo, and what Instructional Rounds has really done is created that collegiality, where you were saying taking that time and opportunity to go to our colleagues and share information of how can we support each other. And I think that has really been an important part of instruction.
And so it's a very structured process. I show them a quick problem. Literally, they get 4 to 5 seconds to look at it. They're going to notice things with their partner. Then we'll notice things as a class. They'll use those noticings then to turn around and calculate. So they'll get some private reasoning time where they have to think by themselves. Then they'll get time to talk and listen and compare. And we have a structure for that. You saw that this morning. We use the exact same structure again with some sentence frames to kind of help support. And then we'll post up strategies that the kids used. We'll kind of compare strategies. What are we noticing? What are some things about math that now have come up, that structures that we can use? Then the kids will have time to reflect, and then we'll post, what did we do to think like mathematicians today? Some of the things that we should notice as mathematicians, for example, is if the problem has some shading in it, that might clue me in that I'm going to need to find area, right? So those are things that I want kids to talk about today. If there's no shading, that might mean I need to look at perimeter fencing, those kind of things.
I just have a question. So something I noticed in the video today is you had them talk to each other first and then private reasoning time. So my first question, is that same structure happening again today? And is there a reason why you have them talk first and then private reason versus the other way?
So they talk about what did I notice. Because they're not going to get the entire problem in that 4 seconds, right? So we're really having to rely on our 2 brains to come up with, I noticed that there was a 7 I was talking about. Okay, well I noticed that, there's this part was missing, this part was there, so they're helping each other notice structures to bring that out. Then they go to private reasoning time to actually do the math. So now I'm having to think about the math by myself. Then I'm going back to talking to my partner about the math that I actually did.
I tried to analyze the equation to see what I'll get when I added them, but I didn't get to finish it because of time and too fast. Yeah. It took me a long time to draw it, and then it took me a long time to draw the numbers in it. Yeah.
Okay, that was your 40. Hey, that was good timing. All right, B. Turn and tell your A partner, what did you do to solve this problem? How did you solve it? Go.
Okay, so I found that.
What?
I noticed that there are 2 7s, 2 4s, and 2 3s, and then there was 4 5s. And so I added it, made a mistake right there. More.
Two is 4. What does that 4 represent?
The area of these ones.
So that's the area of one corner.
Yeah, and then I got all the 4 corners and got 16.
So 4 times 4, you got 16. And what is that 16?
These ones, then you have to find the area of this one.
So wait, hold on. So area of 4 corners. Okay.
And then I did the 81 of all of it minus the 16 and got 65.
And he got 65. But that's different than what she got. So he took the whole thing and subtracted the corners. Yeah. What?
Dio's having a heart attack.
Okay, Dale can have a heart attack in a second. Hold on.
So,
Logan.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How'd you get 9?
How'd you get 9?
Because I noticed. Who would like to go? You'll go first anyway? Okay.
Do I say all of them or just pick one?
You can say them all.
Okay. I said I noticed voice when she was calling on students to answer questions or share their thoughts about things. She would make sure she was getting around to different students in the room. So she used cold calling, and also when students would raise their hand, she would kind of mention, "Oh, I already got to you. Let's call them someone else this time." That's fun. She made several public records of their thoughts, and whether they were correct or incorrect, she made sure to still write their thoughts up on the board or on the public record. And she used used reflection questions as a summary to the first question that they did, to then also kind of guide into the second question that they were working on.
Okay. Do you want me to come back to you later for the rest?
Sure.
Okay. Who would like to share next?
I observed kids analyzing different approaches to the same problem.
Okay.
I also noticed that kids were struggling but not giving up.
Okay.
And then finally I saw the kids disagreed with each other, but felt safe to explain why.
Okay.
I noticed reflection time. Saying I forgot how to find the area. I don't know, but I will.
I don't know, but I will. Okay.
Teacher flexibility, I'm going to add another minute.
Okay.
So that flexibility in the process. Students supporting students, encouragement and expectation. And the last one I will add is I noticed student excited, eager to respond and share.
Even fighting too, right? It was like they're gonna duke it up for a second there. I kind of asked the question in my own. The struggle, it seemed to be used as an engagement strategy. Those kids had a mystery to solve. It was here, they knew it was here, they knew they were here, and they were struggling to get there. And when she said, we'll talk about it on Monday, there was like, yeah, let's talk about it. And it grabbed the kids in the room, that struggle. And they wanted to know. And how often do we, as teachers, want our kids to want the learning that there is inside in the room? And they were grabbed, hook, line, and sinker. They were hooked. And so I kind of wrote that struggle, that's engaging. And so, I just wanted to expand on what you had noticed.
I'm curious what everyone thinks about kind of how the structure and the struggle, kind of the interplay between those two, and how perhaps the structure allowed kids to struggle more or not, or encourage struggle or not. Just kind of how because two things I saw the most in there was struggle, minus DL and his frustration, but I didn't sense this, math sucks, I'm giving up,
Right.
I hate this. I didn't sense that at all. So there was like healthy amount of struggle and a very rigorous structure. And so I just wanted to throw that out to the group of how did those two things maybe play off or reinforce or encourage each other? And I just wanted to
That's whenever they meet for class again. I think that today's lesson gave her the data to know, okay, these 4 kids are struggling with this concept. So I'm gonna pull them into a small group with the idea of, okay, let's take another look at this problem, even if it's a different version of the same problem, and give them the opportunity to revise their own work and hopefully find their own path to